Hey, what's up? Hope y'all having a great day today on Mental Health Thursdays. Well, Healthy Mental Thursdays. Let me just fix my cameras and stuff in here real quick. There you go. Back to the box. Alright. So, if you are watching right now and you can hear me, I was not able to do anything. I wasn't able to handle that situation. I had to sit down and host the show. But with that being said, we are 7 minutes behind. So let's just hop straight into our first video. I changed the name of the day up from Mental Health Thursdays to turn this back this way to Healthy Mental Thursdays. It's a long hashtag, so I ain't put it down there in the bottom corner, but you see Healthy Mental down there. So today's topic is useful restful techniques. Hold on, let me make sure I'm saying that right. Useful restoration techniques. All right. Let's see some bad sleep habits first. Let's look into that first, and then we go from there. And since I can't play anything, this for when people working night shifts. Right
Every
now.
American deserves the right to fair housing, and Kamala Harris is working to make that right realized by us all.
Next question is from Sassney Fitness.
All right, let's go.
How can you get quality sleep when working shifts?
Oh man!
By shifts, they mean swing shift, right? Is that what that means?
Yeah. So I have my
One of the hardest things to deal with.
Oh, dude, would you ever train clients? that
Terrible
works-
schedule. Yeah.
So difficult.
Courtney did that for quite some time when we first were married. So,
Really?
Yeah.
Because she's a
That
nurse.
in the graveyard, yeah.
Yeah, I have so my sister's boyfriend is a police officer. Just became one 2 years ago in San Jose, and I don't know if you guys know this, but when you first become a police officer, the first couple of years is like they give you the shifts. Like you're gonna work the midnight shifts and whatever.
Oh, you got to earn it.
You got to earn it. So he was doing this, and he was a ex special forces, super high performance type of dude. But after about 6 months of this, I mean, we had dinner at my mom's house on one of the rare occasions he had the weekend off, and he's like, dude, he goes, it's killing me. He's like, it's so hard. I feel terrible physically and mentally. Like, what can I do? So what I recommended that he do was when about an hour to 2 hours, preferably before he was supposed to go home. So he would get off at I think it was 11 a.m., which what he was supposed to do is go home and then get sleep, right? Go to sleep.
Right.
But the sun is out. It's bright. Like, what do you do? So I said, okay, first off, black out your bedroom completely. You need to have zero light coming into your room. Yeah. Number two, it's hard for your brain to go from bright light to sleep. So it's like you can't just come home, sunlight everywhere, or bright lights of the office or whatever, because, at the end of his shift, he would have to do paperwork and then just decide you're going to go to bed. 2 hours before, prepare your brain that it's nighttime. So I told him wear blue light blocking glasses, the ones designed for night.
Well, this is where I feel like this has tremendous value. I think this has value anyways. I utilize them all the time. But I wish I understood.
This is vital in this situation.
Right. I wish I understood this back when I was training clients a decade ago, like how important the circadian rhythm was and the importance of sleep and the importance of them preparing themselves for sleep. And has to be one of the hard. It's already challenging for normal people that are working with the sun to prepare themselves to go to bed. Yeah. It's really tough if you're asking somebody at noon or 1 in the afternoon to try and close their eyes and go to sleep.
Yeah, so I told him some other stuff, because the sun on your skin will also tell your brain that the sun is out or whatever. Right. So I told him when you get in your car, turn on your AC, get your body cold, because that'll help you sleep, and wear something that covers most of your skin. You want your skin out of the sun as well, because you don't want to be in like shorts, short sleeve, wear your blue light blocking glasses, but your sun's all over your body. So I said, put on some long sleeves.
Hope they don't live in the desert.
Yeah, cover everything. Turn on your AC. Get your body cold. Put on blue light blocking glasses, and then, of course, later on, He's like, I don't like the blue light blocking glasses because they're orange or they're red. Like, what's the deal? And so then that's when we started working with Felix Gray. So I'm like, here you go. Because what he does is, an hour or two before he goes home, he's doing paperwork for all the shit that he did during a shift, and wearing colored glasses isn't the easiest thing. So he got the Felix, because the Felix Gray ones don't change the color of the room.
It's so tough because you're buzzing, immediately right after work. Half the time you want to you want to talk to somebody, and I remember Courtney coming home from work, trying to wind down was the most difficult thing, and then finally playing really classical music and like you said, turn the AC on, and then really trying to calm herself down helped tremendously.
Well, this is where I would even couple Brain FM with this.
Totally.
Yeah, you do something like that, put the sleep Brain FM mode on. That would be ideal. Throw those blue blockers on, throw the sleep mode in there, get it cool inside your room to create that environment, and that'll probably put someone down.
Totally.
Well.
The World Health Organization labels shift work as a high level carcinogen.
Right.
And heart disease and cancer is higher because it throws off your circadian rhythm.
Now,
so
and I
much.
wonder though, and that's probably because most people just go about it and don't think twice about it, right?
Yeah.
I wonder though if some people actually made the effort to really do the things that you're talking
how
about.
much of an effect,
Right,
beneficial.
how much more would it affect them if they were doing these steps?
Well, extreme cases, you need extreme aids. You really need to research what you can do to prevent all that.
Yeah, and
Hey,
if you
what's
think
up,
about
O?
it, think about it this way: I'm about to get into a heavy workout, right? I don't go from
Hope you're
taking a
enjoying your
nap
day.
or relaxing in a dark room to going to the gym to now lifting super heavy. It's a way too crazy of a shift. Typically, what I do is I prepare myself mentally about an hour before.
Hey,
I'm
what's up,
ready. When I get to the gym, I'm ready to rock and roll. Same thing for sleep. You have to have that. You have to prepare your mind and your body for sleep. You can't expect to go from work to bed and you can shut your eye. Even if you're exhausted, here's the thing. They've done studies on this. You could be dead exhausted and go to sleep right away, but your sleep quality is shit because your brain
Still buzzing.
from thinking it's daytime and all that stuff. So that's what I always tell people, shift workers. I say 2 hours before you want to go to bed, do everything you can to put yourself in a mental state to prepare yourself for sleep, that 2 hours later.
Next.
All right. Now, what he's talking about is exactly right. So, for me personally, when I'm going to sleep, it could be chosen sleep, or it could be I just dozed off sleep. I didn't choose to go to sleep. I just kind of fell asleep. And both of those modes of sleeping, my goal personally is not to rest in one of the two. In both of those, I am resting. Only because I've sort of vacated my physical faculties. I'm not thinking about breathing. I'm not thinking about what I'm about to do later. I'm not thinking about nothing. So all of these processes are switched off. So I'm resting those processes. So, but if I was to just doze off, I wake up kind of wanting to go back to sleep. Oh, I want to go back to sleep. Right? And then if I was to lay myself down, I'm like, all right, I'm going to go to bed. I wake up still in that mode of, hey, I want to go back to sleep for a couple seconds, but it feels different. It feels like, hey, I know I was just sleeping for this amount of time. I can't tell you how to wake up feeling rested and energized, though, other than this. When you go to sleep, be deliberate about it. No matter how long you lay there and you feel like you lay awake, be deliberate about it. Hey, I'm going to shut off, period. So in that way, even if you're not in that sleep unconscious, I just vacated all of my thought processes, rest, you're still in the rest mode of, hey, I'm not doing anything. My body is not doing anything. That's going to take extra energy from me. So that's my recommendation right there.
I voted for Trump twice, but not this time. Trump wants a national sales tax on imported goods. It'll make everything more expensive, all while giving tax breaks to billionaires. Kamala Harris will cut taxes for 100 million Americans. I'm voting for Kamala Harris.
Some of us shoot up at 7 a.m. without the help of an alarm clock, while others only hit the pillow at 7 a.m. So, what really dictates your choice of sleep schedule? Well, the circadian rhythm of your body is responsible for regulating your sleep patterns. Genetics weighs less than half of your preference in your sleep schedule, and it's environmental, social, and personal factors that make up for the rest of your sleep schedule. According to research reported in Insider 2022, there are 6 distinct types of sleepers. Morning larks are most productive from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Afternooners being most active from 11 to 5 p.m. Nappers wake up alert. Afternooners. Morning larks are most productive from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Yes.
Afternooners being the most active from 11 to 5 p.m. Nappers wake up alert, but as the day progresses, their energy dwindles before re-energizing by mid-afternoon.
Yep.
Night owls tend to sleep much later. Swifts are those super robots that are alert for the whole day until they naturally fall asleep.
Jeez.
And finally, the last type are woodcocks.
Why I gotta be
Those
that?
are constantly running on 5% of their battery's capacity from the moment they wake up to bedtime. So, what does your choice of sleep schedule reveal about you? Here's a comparison of the two extremes, a morning lark and a night owl. Which one are you? Number 1, who's happier? A 2008 study published in the journal Social Indicators Research found that morning larks are often happier and have higher life satisfaction compared to their night owl counterparts. A large contributing factor to that is morning larks get better social support as they fit better into the majority of society that is most active in the daytime.
Right.
Night owls, on the other hand, often have a tougher time integrating into society, partially because they may not have the best familial relationships, as they miss out on family times with their sleeping schedules. In the morning lark's workplace, they're able to be productive right from the get-go and operate easily in the standard 9 to 5 hours, and as such, morning larks tend to thrive in a corporate world.
Wait.
Number 2, who's
Wait. Pause. Please tell me y'all can hear this. Okay. Phew. Thought y'all couldn't hear it for a second.
According to a study published in the journal Personality and Individual Differences, night owls are often found to be more intelligent than morning larks, as opposed to the common saying, early birds get the worm. The study states, the results indicate that contrary to conventional folk wisdom, evening types are more likely to have higher intelligence scores. Night owls were also found to have better processing speed and better memory retention than morning larks. In a separate study at University of Liège in Belgium, they found that both morning larks and night owls are productive after waking up naturally, but morning larks' productivity falls off after 10.5 hours of being awake. Night owls prove to be more consistent with their focus and productivity, with faster reaction time. However, night owls perform poorly academically, but night owls are at a disadvantage considering school always starts early.
Right.
Number 3, who's more creative? While both early risers and late risers do experience bursts of creative ideas, studies show that early risers do not have these as much as the night owls. It could possibly be linked to morning larks usually going by a routine, in contrast to night owls who have to learn early on to be creative to adapt to their out-of-norm living style. A 2008 study on art students in Taiwan, published in the International Journal of Art and Design Education, found that more than half of the art students felt more creative after 10 p.m. Creativity strikes most when the mind wanders. Night owls are often left alone to a quiet atmosphere without the hustle and bustle of the city, allowing their minds to freely roam. So, what does your sleep schedule reveal about you? Take everything with a grain of salt.
Okay,
There's
yeah.
very
Thank you
little
for letting me
research
know.
and much needed studies on sleep, personality, and behavior. And most of us are not just a morning lark or night owl, but a mix of both. What's most important, regardless of your sleep schedule, is that you have a good cycle of light and deep sleep, and you can wake up refreshed and feeling your best. Do you feel you're a mix of the two? Or Are you simply a night owl or
Or morning lark.
a woodcock sleeper? Feel free to.
That's what's up. All right. Now, all of this is about sleep, but let's see what Sadhguru say. Sadhguru giving me some
Election season is
free
here.
game.
Remember,
I ain't
who you
gonna
vote
get
for is
copyright
secret.
flag for
But
this.
whether you
Let's
vote
see
is
what he had
public
to say.
information. After this election, your vote.
All right.
You can incubate a lot of either negative things or positive things in sleep. This is getting too easy. Just sleeping sadhana. So coming awake to an alarm bell with a sudden start is not the best way to do your life. How many of you find that one day morning when you get up without any reason, you're just feeling ugly for no reason? If it is happening even at least 2-3 times a year, if it is, then you must do certain things before you go to bed. It's very, very important. Because unconsciously, you need to understand this, you can incubate a lot of either negative things or positive things in sleep. Either pleasantness or unpleasantness, you can incubate very effectively, uninterrupted in sleep. You can also incubate it in the day, but there are so many interruptions, it doesn't happen very efficiently. But if you have a tendency to go to bed in a certain way and you wake up in the morning really nasty for simply no reason, that means you're incubating things in the night very efficiently. Bad eggs. This is not just about psychological disturbances, it can cause major physiological problems over a period of time. It's important that you eliminate these things from your life. So, before you go to bed in the night, there are certain things that you need to take care of. It's best if you're eating meat and other kinds of meals, you eat at least 3 to 4 hours before you go to bed. The digestion is over. Before going to bed, drink a certain amount of water and go to bed. You will see it gets taken care of just like this. One simple thing can be just a shower. Always to shower before go to bed. It'll make a lot of difference. In this weather, maybe cold showers are difficult, so you go for lukewarm showers. Don't go for hot showers in the night. Go for lukewarm showers. It makes you alert. So you will think, oh, I cannot sleep. It doesn't matter, you will sleep 15-20 minutes or half an hour later, but you will sleep better because it will take away certain things. When you shower, it is not just the dirt on the skin that you're taking away. Have you noticed if you're very tense and anxious, whatever, just a shower, you came out and feels like almost the burden has been taken away from you? Have you not noticed this? So it's not just about washing the skin, a whole lot of things happen when water flows over your body. This shower is a very rudimentary bhuti shuddhi because over 70% of your body is actually water. If you run water over it, a certain purification happens, which is beyond cleaning the skin. One more thing if you want to do, you just light an organic oil lamp, a cotton wick, some oil, anything. What do you use here? Normal cooking oil. Linseed oil, rice bran oil or sesame oil, what do you have? Olive oil, fine. Any organic oil with a cotton wick, just burn one little lamp somewhere in the room where you sleep. You will see these things will completely disappear. If you can bring in a chant or there are nightly practices, yogic practices, before you go to bed, sit on your bed and do this practice. Do you know, if you live for about 60 years, you're… on an average, most human beings are eating anywhere between 1100 to 1400 tons of food. So that means even what you think is my body is not this, it's changing every day. New input is happening and old things are going away. So 1400 tons, you don't have carry that much of weight right now. So obviously, what you have as a body right now is just a transient amount of food and soil, isn't it? Hello? So what you think is mine also is not it is just all the time changing. Tonight before you go to bed, spend at least 12–15 minutes reminding yourself, you're neither this body nor this mind. Just lie down and just remind yourself, this body is not really you. It is mine right now for use, but it's not really me. Just, if you're not able to do it, just link it to your breath. Inhalation, I'm not the body. Exhalation, I'm not even the mind. Just lie down for 12 minutes and do it. Till the last moment, till you fall asleep. This is something you must notice.
Sadhguru gonna get to us. Sadhguru gonna be like, you need to go into a closet and get some good time together. Alright, my bad, y'all. That was me just being funny. Making you fat? What if I want to be fat? Jeez. Alright. Oh my gosh. Look, they got Michael Jackson up in there. Alright, what else? So I'm gonna take off my filter and let's get something fun in here.
Early voting is underway in…
That's what's up.
Well, if you are a parent, you know the struggle of getting your child to bed at the right time and then getting him or her to stay asleep. So here to talk about breaking some bad habits at bedtime, Dr. Selena Moore from West Boca Medical Center. Thank you so much for joining us today. This is a topic I know a lot of us are very interested in. So how do bad sleep habits develop?
Well, the child doesn't have the bad sleep habits, the parent does.
Oh, it's always the parent.
So children can fall asleep naturally on their own, but very often as infants, because they associate feeding with sleeping and they get rocked to sleep, that bad habit persists after they should have grown out of it.
So it's normal, though, for kids to say, oh, I want to stay up late, right? Later than my bedtime. Or what do we do about things like that?
We want to make sure they're on a good schedule. So have a good bedtime routine, have the same thing consistently. Children thrive on boundaries, believe it or not. So they're always trying to push the boundaries, and if we stick to the routine, they should be able to fall asleep and then not give in every time that they want another story or that they want to have another glass of water. So you can do something as simple as just running a countdown clock. You've got mommy or daddy for 5 minutes, and then after that, mommy and daddy have to have their bedtime routine.
So it really is up to the parents to establish that good, consistent routine, if you will. How long does it take for these kids to get over a sleep issue if there is a lack of sleep, if you will?
It depends on the age. Infants can go a lot faster than older infants and toddlers. So once you pass that 9-month mark, it takes a little bit longer, usually a week or two.
So parents have tried a lot of these remedies, but nothing seems to be working. I like the countdown clock idea. What other things should they try to do?
Oh, wow. It depends on the age. You want to make sure they don't have any screen time before bed. Screens, the backlight of the screen does something to the brain that keeps them awake, kind of like having a cup of coffee before bed. So avoiding screen times after dinner if possible. I know a lot of kids have homework on computers. Try not to have them too active close to bedtime, which is also hard for some children who play sports, but trying to do the best you can with what you've got and keep it consistent.
Is there an actual hour amount? You know, everybody talks about 7 hours, 8 hours, 9. At what age should the children have X amount of sleep that you've seen?
Again, by the age, toddlers need about 10 to 12 hours.
9 at 9.
Teenagers as well. So teenagers go back to toddler amount of sleep, but unfortunately, the the school system has them go to school really early. And if we were able to shift that over a couple of hours, the kids would be doing so much better and be a lot less caffeinated.
So that's interesting you mentioned 10 to 12 hours. I have 2 teenagers,
Yep.
so
Yeah.
selfishly
12
I
hours.
ask you this question. Sometimes my kids will come home from school
They need
and
a
go right
complete-
to sleep.
Right.
Sometimes
Complete
they'll just
reset.
nap for an hour or two, and sometimes I have to go and wake them up for dinner. Is there a problem with that?
No.
Is that something I should be monitoring?
Yes, they really need to have all that sleep at night. And
Yes.
unfortunately, if they go to school, they can't, because even if they were to get those 10, 12 hours, they'd be going to bed at,
3 o'clock.
7 p.m., 8 p.m.,
Yes.
and they just can't do that.
Dr. Selena Moore,
they
thank you so
can.
much
Yes.
for your time. You helped a lot of parents.
So we
today.
sleep
We
deprived
appreciate
and
that.
insurance is
Burnout.
Y'all telling
We all
me
experience
we sleep
it at
deprived.
some point.
Let's see the effects of this burnout. Didn't we have a talk about this already? Effects of burnout on youth. Let's see how it affects the kids.
Why does it seem like you spend most of your time in bed, lying down and not doing much lately? Are you someone who easily gets tired and doesn't feel like doing anything? Do you label this kind of behavior as mere laziness and nothing more? There's actually a lot of overlap between laziness and burnout that can make it difficult to differentiate between the two. Burnout is a negative state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion caused by excessive stress and inability to cope with it. And as of 2010, a survey reported that approximately 75% of adults in the United States alone have experienced symptoms of burnout, with over 40% of cases being more severe. Now, more than ever, it's become imperative to educate and better understand the nature of burnout. So with that said, here are 6 telltale signs that what you're experiencing right now isn't actually laziness, but burnout.
Maybe that's what I be experiencing.
Number 1, you feel disconnected from everything. Are you going through the motions of every day as if on autopilot? Is there a persistent feeling of being detached from your own self? If you're suffering from burnout, one of the things you might be experiencing but don't quite realize or understand is depersonalization. People experiencing depersonalization, most commonly those struggling with trauma, report feeling a strange sort of emotional numbness or emptiness, as if they were watching life from outside of themselves. They don't feel like themselves anymore. They don't feel engaged by anything, and they constantly struggle with the overwhelming sense of helplessness and inability to take back control of their lives. Number 2, you used to be motivated. Laziness is a character trait, and character traits tend to remain stable over time. A lazy person doesn't ever feel like exerting effort or applying themselves to things. But if you used to be self-motivated and high-achieving, often excelling in certain areas, and have only recently become exhausted, apathetic, and unmotivated, then it's more likely that you're suffering from burnout and not laziness like most people would think. Number 3, you used to be passionate. A clear difference between someone who's burnt out and someone who's lazy is that the former used to have things they were passionate about, but may now be struggling to find interest or enjoyment in anymore. Whether it's a talent, a sport, or just your academic or professional performance in general, burnout can make it hard for you to do the things you once loved or felt passionate about. You might even come to hate or resent it because of how much you overworked yourself and pushed yourself to the brink because of it. Ouch. Number 4, you've become moody and irritable. Do you suddenly find yourself snappy and easily irritated? Do you often feel emotionally out of control nowadays and don't know why? Moodiness and irritability are common but often overlooked signs of burnout. So if you start to have trouble controlling your emotions, especially when it never used to be a problem for you, this might be the reason why. Lazy people, on the other hand, are a stark contrast to this because they're often very relaxed, laid back, placid, and unaffected by things. Number 5, you've neglected your self-care. One of the most distressing warning signs that someone may be emotionally and physically burnt out is if you start neglecting your self-care and socially withdraw from others. There are concerning changes in your eating and or sleeping patterns. You stop making an effort to groom yourself or look good, and you tend to spend most of your time by yourself doing nothing because you're so easily exhausted by even the simplest of tasks. The difference between being burnt out and laziness are starkly in the fact that you weren't always this way. And number 6, these changes happened gradually. Finally, but perhaps most importantly, something you should know about burnout is that it develops in stages. So all of the points mentioned before, losing interest and motivation, especially in things we used to love, feeling detached from yourself and disconnected from everything around you, socially withdrawing and neglecting your self-care,
won't just happen overnight. Studies show that there are actually 5 major stages of burnout, each with increasing degrees of severity. The honeymoon phase, the onset of stress, chronic stress, burnout, and habitual burnout. Many people begin to experience symptoms as early as the second phase, when there is still a moderate amount of stress, but optimism, interest, motivation, and performance may already start declining. And by the time you reach the 5th and final stage, burnout has already become so embedded in your life that the persistent mental and physical fatigue become more intense and harder to treat, making you more vulnerable to developing depression and anxiety. Spotting the signs of burnout early makes it all the more easier for you to get help and recover from it. That's why it's so important to raise awareness about burnout instead of simply dismissing it as laziness, like most people tend to do. So if you or anyone you know may be suffering from mental or emotional burnout, please don't hesitate to reach out to a mental health care professional today and talk to them about it. If you find this video helpful, be sure to hit the like button. Feel free to leave a comment down below with your thoughts, experiences, and suggestions, and share it with those out there battling the haze of burnout. Don't forget to subscribe to Psych2Go and hit the notification bell for more new videos. And as always, thanks for watching.
I didn't have 4 years. I needed to start making a living and do it relatively quickly.
Start sooner, finish faster. Nurse.
All right, sorry about that. But yeah, so we was talking about burnout in a different episode of Expansion Pack, and that right there can affect you so much. And just watching that video actually made me look at some of the stuff I do differently, like and even the one about the different types of sleepers. Because think about what we do when we go to sleep. We are like this player on the screen right here. Hold on. You can't see it, but it's loading. You see what I'm saying? We just like this player on the screen. He gonna stay there until we come back. And so we may not see ourselves sleeping, but if you leave like a camera on or something like that, you can watch the video of you sleeping, but you're not there in the sense of who you are when you're awake walking around. So what are we doing in that time? Well, let's say you sleeping in an uncomfortable position for a majority of that time, and then you do you know what I'm saying, you come back into your faculties and all of that, and how you gonna feel? You know? So
why does it seem like you spend...
I'm just thinking about different ways that you could really get rest outside of your sleeping cycle, you know? Oh, they gonna get me.
Doctors recommend that teenagers get 8 to 10 hours of sleep every night, but many are sleeping far less than that, and nearly 1 in 4 also suffers from insomnia. William Brangham reports from California on why it's so hard for so many teens to sleep and how it's taking a toll on their mental health. It's part of our ongoing series, Early Warnings, America's Youth Mental Health Crisis.
It'll be another long night for 15-year-old Keiko Rakin as she prepares for another day of high school in Alhambra, California.
I have homework due every night. I usually have 2 tests a week. I'm in sports, and that's every day after school for 2 hours. I'm in 5 clubs and
5 clubs.
5, and I have leadership positions in all of them. And I can get overwhelmed. You know, I can cry. I have a hard time breathing. And it's just me thinking I have so much to do and I just don't have the time to do it.
The academic pressure, the college pressure, the sense that she's not doing enough, it's turned Keiko into a night owl. Most nights, this high school sophomore says she goes to bed around 1 a.m. and only sleeps 5 or 6 hours. Does that feel like enough sleep for you?
No, because it's really hard for me to get up, and the whole day I'm constantly yawning, and I feel like I can fall asleep in class.
Keiko is not alone. According to the CDC, more than 70% of American teenagers are not getting enough sleep.
There's no question in my mind that teenagers' sleep is less than it's ever been and probably worse than it's ever been.
Lisa Damour is a clinical psychologist in Shaker Heights, Ohio, and the author of The Emotional Lives of Teenagers. While there are multiple factors causing 40% of high school students to report having persistent feelings of sadness and hopelessness, Damore says sleep is a major culprit.
When teenagers are not getting enough sleep, they are grumpier. They have a harder time focusing. They have a harder time remembering things. They're more likely to have accidents. They like themselves less. They like other people less. The bottom line on this is that if we could bottle what sleep does for teenagers, and truly for all of us, this would be the most valuable drug on the market.
So just imagine devising this experiment. Researchers make their subjects wake up hours before their normal wake-up time. Then you force them to perform complex mental tasks for 5 days straight. That's basically describing the average teenager's school week. Before the pandemic hit, the average public high school start time across the nation was 8 a.m. Last year, California became the first state in the nation to mandate that classes begin no earlier than 8:30. While that's a welcome change for many, it hasn't changed much for Gabby Wong. She's a junior at Mark Keppel High in California's San Gabriel Valley.
Sleeping is just so, it's a victorious feeling almost, because it's like, I finally get to have enough sleep.
As co-captain of the school's debate team,
You can have an adequate amount of speech time and so that the judges see that you're up here.
one of her many
get to know their
extracurriculars,
right?
her school day starts at 7:30 a.m.
You know I get nightmares so frequently, like anxiety-riddled nightmares.
It's the beginning of a grueling schedule that often keeps her up past midnight, something she admits has taken a toll.
I've suffered with mental health issues since I was 11, but every night before I go to sleep, I just stare at the ceiling and I think, what have I not done? What assignments have I not finished? What extracurricular activities are coming up? And you're thinking, I'm not having an easy time with this. Why am I the only one struggling with this? But everybody is struggling with it.
Gabby told us her sleep is often fluctuating. She sleeps between 3 and 7 hours a night during the week, but up to 12 hours a night on the weekend.
I still wake up feeling tired every day, no matter what.
Are your parents on you about this?
Yes, my parents have cut my Wi-Fi is off by 12 a.m. because they're so concerned about me not sleeping. But the thing is that concern develops and then it ends up with me being anxious about not finishing certain things by 12.
Every student we spoke with said this wasn't a result of parental pressure. They said these intense schedules and expectations were just part of being a teenager today. Another major impediment to teenage sleep, technology. Roughly 9 out of 10 teens say they have access to smartphones or laptop computers, and nearly half say they are online almost constantly.
There are plenty of teenagers who are losing sleep because they have their technology in their rooms, because they are on their phones late at night, because social media is so hard to pull away from. So there's definitely reason to think that using smartphones, and especially at night, has something to do with sleep loss in teenagers.
The brain parts that are lit up, so to speak, are showing us variations among adolescents who get better or worse sleep.
At UCLA's Center for the Developing Adolescent, neuroscientist Adriana Galvan and developmental psychologist Andrew Fellini are studying the links between sleep and teenage mental health.
It's a chicken or egg problem. Is it that the mental health concerns or issues cause poor sleep, or is it the other way around? And they're related, it almost doesn't really matter. But we know that people who suffer from, for example, anxiety or depression, which are the most common mental health challenges that adolescents may undergo, are associated with poorer sleep.
Fellini and Galvan have found that students who perform well in school academically often sleep less and are more likely to face mental health issues compared to their well-rested peers. But even more alarmingly, other research has found that students who sleep less than 6 hours a night are 3 times as likely to consider or attempt suicide compared to students who sleep 8 hours. This all comes at a time when teenagers experience a natural shift in their circadian rhythm that begins to push them to stay up later.
It's not their fault, it's not their choice. It's what the biology is telling them to do. So they have to go to bed later, and then we're actually many times asking them to go to school earlier and actually loading on the academic demands in the evening.
So what should parents do who are trying to help their teens get more sleep? Experts say their behavior is just as important.
It's not necessarily you're going to be on them all the time and harassing them to go to bed, but have an agreed upon pattern and that and times that you're going to go to sleep, that's reasonable for teenagers.
We're in a society where Americans do not prioritize sleep. It's not just the adolescents who are doing this. All of us stay up late to get a little bit more work done, or to go work out, or get up early to go work out. All of that is passed on to what our kids see and model their behavior after.
You guys have any ideas for like what the middle event should be, like in between those two?
Gabby told us she's committed to trying to get more sleep going forward. She also co-founded a mental health nonprofit that aims to reach even younger students in the San Gabriel Valley.
We would talk about how depressed we were, and a lot of adults would think you're only in like, what, 4th grade, 5th grade? But that was how we were feeling, and nobody validated that because they didn't expect it. And so seeing that, I don't want someone in the shadows to be going through that without anybody, frankly, to step in and look at that and say, I see you. What you're feeling is valid. Just because you're young, it doesn't mean you can't feel that way.
For Keiko Rakin, she also hopes her school will create an anonymous tip line for students to talk to other students about their mental health challenges.
Teenagers as a whole, we have those points where we go into these dark places that we can't eat, we can't sleep, we can't focus. And I've been there a couple times, but I think that just talking to someone, if it's alone, like you're alone that night and you just really need someone, that just having that connection, whether it's not in person or not, could really help.
It would be much needed help that hopefully leads to some much needed sleep. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm...
Yes, they're going to get me. All right. Techniques to help rest better. You know Ted always got it. Let me just put my filter on. I'm sorry, y'all. I got to put the filter on. All right, Psych to Go. We already seen Psych to Go. Dr. Night Shift. All right, 5 things to remember during tough days. Psych to Go got it popping. Hold on, let's get it.
Kamala Harris took on the big banks in Wall Street, and now
we ain't gonna listen to it. Y'all can look at it, but we ain't gonna listen to it.
Hey Psych2Goers, welcome back to a new video. Have you ever had those days when the only thing you feel like doing is to just lie in bed and sleep? Pretty sure we've all had our fair share of horrible days where you come home exhausted mentally, physically, and emotionally. Sometimes the day has barely started and you know it's already gonna be one of those days. You may feel irritable and overly sensitive, or maybe you're holding back tears or have had to run to the bathroom to cry. It's okay. We've all experienced bad days. So with that said, here are 5 things to remember if you're having a tough day. Number 1, tough days are inevitable. Sometimes we tend to catastrophize bad experiences. In this mindset, it's easy to forget that a bad moment can be an opportunity to learn. Consider bad days as beta tests for future bad days. With bad day experiences under your belt, you'll be able to handle the ones that lay ahead. Life will always bring problems and tough days, regardless of how long they last. Sometimes a bad day can become a bad week, but remember that it's not forever. Life's a roller coaster. It has ups and downs. It never remains stagnant, no matter how much you believe it does. Just try to enjoy the ride. Number 2, it's okay to take breaks and ask for help. Bad days can make you want to hold on to control and take on the world. Holding on to control makes us feel secure, but when you're having a bad day, it's okay to take breaks and ask for help. You don't need to shoulder all of the burdens. Please reach out to someone you trust for help, whether it's a close family member, a friend, or a therapist. Number 3, believe in yourself and pace yourself. Tough days can wear you down. At their worst, bad days can make you feel less confident in your capabilities. The best remedy is self-belief, and practice makes perfect. Despite what you're facing, you are still strong and capable. So believe in yourself and forge ahead. Number 4, focus on what you can control. A sudden crisis can cause a bad day or make it worse. In those moments, focus on what you can control. Do not try to take on more tasks than you can handle. And number 5, tomorrow offers a fresh start. The greatest comfort for a bad day is the promise that tomorrow brings. Tomorrow's a new day and an opportunity to renew your strength and take on your challenges. So don't be discouraged when you have a bad day. Take care of yourself and go forth believing in tomorrow. Have any of these tips helped you when you were having a bad day? Let us know in the comments, and please share this video with your friends.
I will.
As always,
I won't share it, but I already did. All right. What are the best things to do on an active rest day?
While Trump cuts taxes for billionaires, Kamala Harris will cut them for you.
Under my plan, more than 100 million Americans will get a tax cut, letting you keep more of your hard-earned money.
FFPAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
First question is from Grow with Lulu. What are the best things to do when taking an active rest day?
Active rest day. First, we should define that, right? So a rest day in this particular context is a day where you're not doing your structured workout routine. Active meaning you're not just sitting there laying down and resting. You're doing something active, but that's not structured exercise.
Yeah, which all rest days should be active. Which means it could be a bunch of different things.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you could use, depending on who you are, like, maybe you need something that's way more restorative and you're doing like yoga or, meditating. Maybe you don't need something so restorative, and so you do something like a hike outside for a couple hours. Like there's or it's a complete mobility day because you've been strength training really hard. So it could be a lot of different things.
I think the question is, right, which the best? And so how would you rank what the best is? I personally, so we could sit there and say, all right, if the person requires more mobility, if they require more conditioning, if their goal is fat loss, muscle building, then this would be the best, prescription or whatever, recommendation. But I don't want to say never. When I got better as a trainer, I stopped looking at things that way, except for my super hardcore performance driven clients. Most of my clients, the goal really was overall health and longevity. In other words, consistency over a long period of time. It's not just about training for an event. It's rather like, how do I do this long term, enjoy it, and make myself feel healthy and good, and in the long term, build muscle, burn body fat, and feel great. In which case, the criteria was, what are you going to enjoy the most? Yeah. That's really it, right? Because there is no wrong answer here unless you're hurting yourself or training yourself inappropriately. I think active rest days should be based entirely over what you enjoy, because that's going to keep you the most consistent and, in my opinion, give you the best long-term effect. So like maybe you would benefit more from, mobility, but man, you really enjoy hiking and going outdoors, and it's that enjoyment is probably more likely to keep you consistent on these active days, these active rest days. And that enjoyment, there's a lot of health benefits you get from that as well, especially when you're doing it with people that you like to be with,
Yeah, that's probably the most important thing. However, like if you have an athlete too, where like I would probably try to have them focus a bit on some of the movement and skill that would apply. So doing things at a very low intensity, but being able to kind of mechanically go through those movements so you're still basically like teaching your body these movements and repeating them constantly, which then sort of solidifies it so it becomes part of the subconscious at that point. But in terms of like your average person just trying to recover, just light expressive movements, anytime that you can, I think personally, like being able to do things you normally don't do in terms of movements. So being able to articulate your joints and like rotate them a bit more and focus on that kind of stuff, I think will help in terms of being able to, provide stability and support.
Yeah, I don't know how much I agree with you on this one, Sal. Not because you don't make good points, but because people a lot of times do the things that they like to do and they neglect the things they probably should do. I don't know how many times I've had a client who has got a very high stress job and is burning the candle at both ends, and their active recovery day is going out for a hike, but I would much rather see them do a yoga class for an hour, or I've got a client that is hardcore consistent with their training, but they train heavy consistently, and then their active recovery maybe is a sport they love to do, and they love to go play basketball, but I need them to address and work on their mobility.
Well, yeah, and people can eat perfect diets too, but we don't tell people to follow a perfect diet because it
but I don't.
work like
I think saying a blanket statement like just do what you love to do on active recovery day is not what's best for you. In the context of what is going to keep you active physically for the rest of your life, generally speaking, and most people could be better at being more active. Okay, you have a point there.
And that's got to be number one, right?
Sure.
It's the inconsistency that's the biggest
Yeah,
challenge.
but sure. I still think that what someone asking this question is seeking, though, is like, okay, I hear what you guys are saying. I hear the benefits of active recovery. Okay, now tell me what I should potentially be doing. Now, that is going to vary and depend on the person. Like if you were training them and your client specifically asked you that, I don't think my answer would just be, oh, do whatever you want, do what you love to do. I would assess what their lifestyle is like, and I would give them a recommendation that I think would be most beneficial.
So you're taking it as like a they're asking you more of a structured active rest day. Like what should I do?
Prescriptive one.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think prescriptive is the word, not structured. It doesn't have to be so structured where I'm like, hey, I want you to hike for this minute. It's like
that's what I mean. I mean like
it's just
specific to
prescriptive.
their goals.
It's like okay. Yes, I agree with you. Being active and enjoying activity, like by all means, like I think that has tremendous value. But if I have a client who I'm in tune with their habits, I know their needs as far as movement.
And they're going to do what you tell them.
Yeah, and they're asking a question like this. They're saying, okay, Adam, what do you want me to do after recovery day? What's the best thing for me? I'm going to give to them what I think is most beneficial. So for this person, since we don't know you, you have to have this self-awareness to know, am I somebody who burns the candle at both ends, and I'm more guilty of pushing myself too hard, and maybe I need to work more inward for my day off? Maybe it looks like a sauna, jacuzzi, cold plunge, meditation type of day. Or am I somebody who is got a very sedentary lifestyle because I work at a desk 9 to 5, and so I would have tremendous benefit from just going on a nice, easy, leisurely walk for 2 hours or something. So I mean, for an active recovery day, it could be all the things we're talking about. And I think, yes, to your point, trying to choose things that are going to keep you consistent. But I also think that there are things that the individual could be doing on that active recovery day that will benefit them more than other things.
If I know they're going to do it, it's like if someone asked me what's the best diet or what's the best form of cardio. Like there's two answers. One is the best for you. Two is the one you're going to do the most consistently, right? And for most people, the challenge is about consistency, which is why I answer it that way. But the benefits of active recovery are that you recover faster. It's healthier for you. I used to think that the best way to recover was to do nothing.
Yeah,
you have hard work and then do nothing.
Blood flow, like that's. I mean, that's all part of the healing process.
It's not true. Movement facilitates recovery far better than just sitting and laying in bed. That was a huge mistake.
Yeah, that's why I think too. Like if you're just painting a broad stroke, why I'm more inclined to kind of tell people to move laterally or twist. It's just because it's just not something you're programmed to do, especially in your programming for strength training. A lot of people don't consider those things. So to be able to at least, try to focus on maybe like 2 things you can do, that'd be an easy one.
What's your guys' favorite forms of active recovery? Like, what do you actually do when you're doing active recovery?
Well, so I think I actually bounce between all the things we're talking about right now. There might become, and then the way I decide is kind of based off of what my week or my life, where it's currently going.
Is it pretty balanced, or are you more likely to do one thing like over the other?
No, I'm more likely to do what I think is best for me. I have the discipline to say, but does that mean, has there ever been a time where I know this is what's totally best for me and then I ended up doing something else? Like, sure, that happens, but I try and make the decision on my active recovery days, the thing that I probably need most or what I should potentially add into my routine.
I'm way more with workouts consistent, like with what but when it comes to active recovery, I just love walking and hiking. I just get so much out of it. I don't know. Non-physically, right? Emotionally, spiritually, whatever you want to say, going outside, being with my kids and my wife. So that's almost like 9 out of 10 times, if I'm doing something active recovery, it's walking or hiking.
That's the low-hanging fruit for me. Like, it's the easy one. To me, it's like the default, I should do X, Y, or Z. I don't really feel like it. Well, the bare minimum, I'm going to go move because I know that will facilitate recovery and it'll burn calories. There's benefits to it for that specific day and then also the recovery process. So to me, the the go for a nice walk with Katrina or something is the bare minimum I'll do, and then I'm probably trying to do some of the
it's
other
funny
things.
because I don't think of the calorie burn or any of that stuff. I just like, hey, let's go do something, and I like doing this thing, and it's moving. I don't want to just sit down.
Oh, I do. I definitely think now because I'm so aware, and I think mainly because of the business now. Never in my life have I been so sedentary. Easily
crazy?
In this job, I easily could string a week together, a whole week, where maybe I average 2,000 steps in a day. Like if it's a crazy, we're on calls, we're flying places, we're doing stuff like that, and we're not really walking around very much, or maybe I didn't get in very many workouts this week, I can look back and go, holy shit, I only walked 2,000 steps. So, and I know what a difference that is on a just an activity for calorie burn for me, that I'm like, dude, I need to get out and just move.
Well, when you're training clients in a gym, I was doing 10,000 steps with my eyes closed.
And you're picking up weights and moving them around and all that.
Totally.
It all adds up.
This is the first time in my life I ever sat down. Obviously, I enjoy doing this, so I'm not complaining, but I never sat down this much in my entire life at work.
I'd never sit down at home.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of as a result of being in this environment. I'm very conscious of that.
Yeah.
Being out, standing up, walking around, picking things up, you know, and being like productive at home, because it's just like I need the movement.
Hey, if you enjoyed that clip, you can find the full episode here.
One thing I'm not seeing here as I type this in over and over. Foods. What foods you eating? Can food help you some type of way get rest? All right. Which foods help with rest or recovery? Let's say recovery.
We are the generation that shows up. We don't just talk about the future, we build it. A future where we can get ahead.
Foods to eat, yeah. So forth.
If you're into working out or strenuous physical activities like long-distance biking or trail running, you'll likely experience occasional exercise-induced muscle soreness. Not only can muscle soreness be uncomfortable, but it may also affect your workouts and day-to-day activities. Fortunately, many recovery strategies can help reduce muscle soreness, minimize exercise-induced muscle damage, and speed muscle recovery. Watermelon and watermelon juice. Watermelon is sweet, hydrating, and loaded with nutrients. What's more, eating watermelon or sipping on watermelon juice could be a good way to promote muscle recovery after exercise. Watermelon is rich in the amino acid L-citrulline, besides being a building block for proteins. This amino acid may have antioxidant effects and increase the production of nitric oxide, though enhances blood circulation to muscles and improves cellular energy. This could be why some studies show that watermelon juice might reduce muscle soreness and muscle damage post-exercise. Fatty fish like sardines, salmon, and trout are excellent sources of nutrients that your body needs for muscle recovery. Mainly, fish is a highly bioavailable source of protein, a macronutrient that facilitates muscle repair, the process of regenerating muscle cells after exercise-induced damage. Some experts suggest that consuming around 1.1 ounces of protein after exercise supports optimal muscle recovery. For reference, 4 ounces of cooked salmon provides 1 ounce of protein. Pomegranate juice. Pomegranate juice is a rich source of polyphenols, which are plant compounds with antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. As such, drinking pomegranate juice may benefit muscle recovery. In a small 2017 study, 9 elite weightlifters drank 8.5 ounces of pomegranate juice or a placebo 3 times per day for 3 days before Olympic weightlifting training sessions. They had an additional 16.9 ounces of juice or a placebo 1 hour before training sessions. Compared with the placebo treatment, pomegranate juice reduced the release of a marker of oxidative stress called malondialdehyde and increased antioxidant defenses. This indicates that the drink could promote muscle recovery. Beet juice. Beets are loaded with dietary nitrates and pigments called betalains. Dietary nitrates may help send oxygen to your muscles and improve the efficiency of mitochondria, organelles, or parts of cells that produce the energy that fuels your cells. Meanwhile, betalains may reduce inflammation and oxidative damage. Whey protein shakes. Some research suggests that whey protein may promote muscle recovery after exercise in both athletes and non-athletes. In a 5-day study, 92 men with obesity took 0.4 milligrams per pound of whey protein divided into 3 doses per day before physical fitness tests. The whey protein significantly reduced markers of muscle damage compared with a control, although it didn't improve DOMS. Whey protein may also improve muscle function after resistance training. However, not all research agrees. In some studies, whey protein did not benefit post-exercise muscle recovery. Eggs are known as a nutrient-dense food and favored by athletes for their high content of bioavailable protein. Eating them after a workout helps stimulate muscle recovery. Although many people opt to eat only egg whites, studies show that whole eggs may be a better choice after workouts. Researchers suggest that this could be because the nutrient-dense yolk provides vitamins, minerals, and fatty acids, such as vitamin A, selenium, zinc, and the fatty acid palmitate, which may increase the speed of muscle protein synthesis. Dairy, milk, and milk products like yogurt and cottage cheese are frequently used as post-exercise fuel, and for good reason, because milk is high in protein. It provides your body the nutrients necessary for muscle repair. Thus, it might reduce EIMD. Milk and dairy products also contain carbs. Eating carbs and protein together supports muscle growth and helps your muscles refill their stores of glycogen, the stored form of glucose or sugar. Milk also contains sodium, which is important for rehydration. Some studies have found that cow's milk significantly benefits exercise performance and the recovery of muscle functioning. Starchy vegetables. When you work out intensely, you deplete your muscle stores of glycogen, the stored form of glucose. Having enough available glycogen in your muscles is essential for optimal athletic performance. So it's important to replenish these stores after workouts. This is especially true for athletes participating in exhaustive exercise. Eating carb-rich foods promotes muscle glycogen replenishment. Starchy vegetables like sweet potato, butternut squash, and potatoes make a healthy carbohydrate choice post-workout. Coffee. Sipping on coffee pre or post-exercise may help reduce DOMS. This is because the caffeine found in coffee blocks receptors for adenosine. Adenosine is a chemical that's released after injury. It activates pain receptors in your body. A 2013 study in 9 men who typically consumed low amounts of caffeine showed that consuming caffeine 1 hour before an intense upper body workout significantly lowered levels of muscle soreness on days 2 and 3 after exercise, compared with a placebo. Additionally, a 2019 study found that caffeine consumption 24 and 48 hours after intense exercise improved recovery of muscle power and reduced DOMS in both men and women compared with a placebo.
That's it for today. Check out the channel for more health and weight loss content. You can also purchase our weight loss course. And please, like and subscribe to be notified of our next tip. See you next time.
All right. That one wasn't as exciting as we wanted it to be, but it gave us the answers that we needed. Let me put my filter on. Make sure I ain't getting nothing that's going to get me banned or kicked up out of here. All right, the fastest way to recover from soreness. All right, foods to improve athletic performance and recovery. Which fruits and vegetables boost DNA repair? NutritionFacts.org.
In the light of strikingly consistent observations from many population-based studies, there can be little doubt that the habitual consumption of diets high in fruits and vegetables helps reduce the risk of development of degenerative diseases, including many types of cancers. Not satisfied with just telling people to eat their fruits and veggies, scientists want to know the mechanism. Fruits and vegetables are not just vehicles for antioxidants. They contain innumerable phytonutrients that can boost our detoxification enzymes, modulate gene expression, and even DNA repair. Till fairly recently, it was generally assumed that functions as important as DNA repair were unlikely to be readily affected by nutrition. But if you compare identical twins to fraternal twins, only about half to 3/4 of DNA repair function is genetically determined. The rest we may be able to control. It's estimated that on average there are 800 incidents of DNA damage in our bodies per hour. That's 19,000 hits to our DNA every day, and that DNA damage can cause mutations that can give rise to cancer if not repaired. Thankfully, the regulation of DNA repair may be added to the list of biological processes that are influenced by what we eat, and specifically, that this might constitute part of the explanation for the cancer-preventive effects of many plant-based foods. Any plants in particular? Well, 9 fruits and vegetables were tested to see which was better able to boost DNA repair. Lemons, persimmons, strawberries, oranges, choy sum, which is like skinny bok choy, broccoli, celery, lettuce, and apples. Which ones made the cut? Want to guess? lemons, persimmons, strawberries, broccoli, celery, and apples each confer DNA protection at very low doses. Here's what lemons could do, for example. Cuts DNA damage by about a third. Was it the vitamin C? No. Removing the vitamin C from the lemon extract did not remove the protective effect. However, if you boiled the lemon first for 30 minutes, the effect was lost.
Interested in nutritionfacts.org. Let's watch something fun. Effects of sleep deprivation. Let's see what's up. Hold on. I want to make sure it's something fun that we can watch. Alright. All of those was whack. Ted Ed be giving us everything. I don't want to see my mans. Alright. Roper St. Francis Healthcare, Charleston, 6 p.m. WCBD.
We are a society that burns the candle at both ends, a nation where people stay up all night to study, to work, or sometimes just to have fun. However, going without sleep carries with it both short as well as long-term consequences. So why don't people get enough sleep? Well, some people are stressed. Some may have age-related sleep problems, or they may work odd hours like I do, second or third shifts. The wear and tear on my body after days without sleep served as my personal wake-up call. While watching News 2 several weeks ago,
the circumstance of the ceremony plus the glitz and glamour of the parties,
you saw
can be paid back within a year.
And heard this.
Yeah, all that equals millions of dollars, and as Tracy Potts tells us, it's right in the middle of the country's worst recession since the 30s.
But behind the scenes,
You have no idea how.
Don't worry.
Oh, whatever.
I was like a lab rat, working 3 until midnight at the TV station,
Except debt and taxes.
and then home for a few hours.
All right, so finally, I'm home. It's 12:30, and my family is sound asleep, but of course I can't sleep for another 17 hours or so. So I'll just check homework, make sure lunch is ready for tomorrow, and I think I'll get a jump on weekend laundry.
For 36 hours straight, I had to keep moving, doing housework at home like mopping and ironing, and anchoring the evening newscast so that I can see how my brain functions without sleep. I knew before beginning the sleep latency test that, like many people, I wasn't getting enough sleep. I was averaging about 3 to 4 hours of sleep a night. But was I really sleep deprived?
A lot of Americans and people around the world are walking around with an unmet sleep requirement.
Dr. Toby Dawson, the machine behind Roper St. Francis's sleep clinic, says millions of people risk failure rather than admit they need sleep.
And they cope with feeling sleepy by being physically active, by taking caffeine products, by putting themselves in stimulating environments, and by high motivation. I mean, basically the professional today, such as yourself, is a highly motivated person and wants to get things done.
And here's the proof people ignore the signs they need more rest. A Harvard report cites the catastrophic accidents such as the Exxon Valdez oil spill, the nuclear incidents at Chernobyl and 3 Mile Island, and the explosion of the Space Shuttle Challenger. After going a day and a half with no shut-eye,
So this is my room. This will be your room that you'll be staying today.
I checked into the Roper St. Francis Sleep Clinic.
We time exactly how long it takes you to fall asleep.
As nurse Susan Markham attaches these electrodes to my scalp,
I'm going to give you little strands of
you can see how quickly I doze off. I'm finally allowed to crawl into bed for a 20-minute videotape nap.
great. Yes. This is what I'm talking about.
It doesn't take long before the sleep team is watching my brain activity.
I can see that. There's a visual change.
Finally, news that literally wakes me up. 1 minute. I fell into REM, the deepest level of sleep, within 60 seconds.
That's right. That's
During
my
a
girl.
second test, I was in REM, or rapid eye movement sleep, within 90 seconds. It should have taken 10 to 15 minutes to fall asleep. It's a wake up and a shake up. As a healthy adult, I need about 7 to 8 hours of sleep each night. Children need about 8 to 12. The study proved what my body was already telling me, that a lack of sleep not only risks my job, my health, and my judgment, it also jeopardizes the people all around me. Now, let's take a look at the impact of a lack of sleep on health. People who walk around sleepy may battle obesity, diabetes, hypertension or high blood pressure, and alcohol-related issues. They may also be moody and have respiratory problems because of a compromised immune system. If you would like to find out if you are sleep deprived, you can take the National Sleep Foundation's quiz in the medical section of our website. Just go to counton2.com.
Interesting stuff, Carolyn. Thank you very much.
So how many of my viewers out there think hey, what's good, Limitless? Glad to have you in here. Are you sleep deprived?
What Tractor Supply customers experience
lately? Please tell me that you have. You know. Let's watch some funny videos to wake us up. Funny videos of people falling asleep. Oh my gosh. That's my man's though. Hey. Y'all leave me alone. They probably got a zillion videos be like this. A whole bunch of videos. Yes, sir. We about here. Oh. Bruh, no. He wasn't asleep, bruh. That wasn't even funny, bruh. Y'all let me lay down, man. Let me lay down. Let these folks lay down. Hold up, man. Because that's not funny. If you just... So, the Army has done wonders for my life, right? And one thing that it did was help me to never be able to stay awake if you speaking to me in life. Like, if you talking to me for more than 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and it ain't about not being interested. It's just about sitting there. Boy, I'm like... all day long on your app. Sorry. But, yeah. Let's get some more. Sorry, y'all. That's my man's. Hey, I'll never let somebody go down like this. I'll tell him, hey, dog, go ahead, go to sleep, dog. Roger. Hit. Roger. Go ahead, go to sleep. How you driving in? Wake up. Come on now. Julie. Julie. We almost at your stop. We almost at your stop, Julie. We almost at your stop, Julie. Julie!
Когда только труд обязана, жизнь рабства. Когда труд удовольствие, жизнь хороша. Демагогия сплошная.
Hey, teacher ain't gonna.
Красивые слова.
Teacher ain't gonna like.
Красивые, умеет говорить.
Y'all don't be messing with teacher. No lies was told. Julie! That's right, Julie. Right. Come on now. Hey. Look, and it's always the person sitting next to them. Just be sitting there looking. Boy, don't be worried Nah, the person across from me be like, this
Next stop, number 6153 on 15th side road.
Hey, Eduardo, that seat ain't no pillow. If you see somebody, your people going down like this, y'all don't let your people go down like this. Alright? Don't record me, because I'm gonna wake up with
Where do you want to play right now?
Come on, man, get the girl out of there, man. Hey, baby, come here to daddy. Come here to daddy. Oh, man, y'all see, go to bed, alright? Go to bed, get your sleep. You know what I'm saying? Meditate if you have to. Do what you gotta do. But please get your rest up. Alright? It's some things that I just really want to be able to know what it is that we doing when we go to sleep and when we wake. Because there's no way you're gonna tell me that we just be like falling out. I don't know. Alright. Let's see. Rest and mental health. That was just to wake y'all up, see if y'all was paying attention. Oh man. I'm gonna do a sleep test to see if y'all getting. I ain't getting enough sleep. You see me yawning. Psych to Go got everything. I'm gonna just scroll and scroll and scroll. And see who we end up on. It's getting harder and harder to do this, man. Demystify. Now we don't want an hour worth of your talk. Like some music to unwind, shifting the pairs from. Oh, they got an hour though. That's a whole hour. That's an hour. Counselor Toolbox got it for us. See, so I'm switching over my way of finding videos. So forgive me scrolling for so long. I'm not able to just. Excuse me. I'm not able to just type in anything or click anything anymore. There's techniques for a healthy mind. Let's see a Japanese method to relax.
Billionaires like Elon Musk are lining up behind Donald Trump.
Take over, Elijah!
Why? Because his tax plan will make them rich as hell. Kamala Harris wants to cut taxes for working and middle-class Americans, not billionaires and large corporations.
A Japanese method to relax in 5 minutes. Every day, you are stressed about too many things: work, relationship, family, bills, other people's opinions. A certain amount of stress is normal and even necessary, but excessive stress can take a toll on your life and health. You're not going to believe what I'm about to tell you next. You can get rid of stress in no time at all. All you need to cope with anxiety and headache is just one method, a unique ancient Japanese technique. It takes less than 5 minutes and can be done about anywhere. To practice the technique, you should first understand that each finger of your hand represents a different feeling or attitude. Let's see exactly what. Here's your hand: thumb, index, middle, ring, and pinky. The thumb helps combat emotions like anxiety and worry. The index can help you combat fear. The middle finger helps you control anger and resentment. The ring finger can help you fight depression and sadness. Also, it's responsible for making you more decisive. And the pinky helps to calm anxiety and increases optimism and confidence. This finger represents self-esteem. Let's repeat it again. Thumb, anxiety. Index, fear. Middle, anger. Ring, sadness. Pinky, self-esteem. Keep repeating it till you remember it. Now let's see how this unusual method works. To harmonize the life energy in the body, grasp the finger with the opposite hand, wrapping all the fingers and thumb around it. Now hold each finger for 1 to 2 minutes. You will know it's working when you feel a pulsating sensation. If you want to calm your mind, slightly press in the center of the palm with the thumb of the opposite hand and hold it for at least 1 minute. It will help you relieve stress, get rid of negative thoughts, and get peace of mind in the middle of the hustle and bustle. Practice this technique every day to stay calm and reestablish the balance within yourself. Remember that there are many other ways to cope with stress: exercise, yoga, massage, meeting friends, good music, and others. However, this Japanese technique is one of the best methods to revive yourself quickly. This method absolutely works wonders for everyone, regardless of age and gender. Have you already tried it? How did it work for you? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We're really interested in them. Don't forget to hit the like button below and click subscribe to stay on the bright side of life.
Let's look at the best vacation.
Welcome to Mojo Travels, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 most beautiful and relaxing natural destinations on Earth.
Are you a fan of our videos? Be sure to subscribe to Mojo Travels and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.
For this list, we're looking at destinations that will help you unwind and relax. Number 10. Lake Bled, Slovenia. Many will make the pilgrimage to Slovenia from all over the world for the chance to see this picture-perfect lake in person. It's in the heart of the stunning Julian Alps far inland and is actually home to the country's only island. That island is the lake's defining feature, where you'll find a small but beautiful church to the Assumption of Mary. Lake Bled plays such a huge role in Slovenian culture that a popular myth claims it was built by magical fairies looking for somewhere to dance. You can tour the lake and stay at many of the venues around the coast, including campsites and humble log cabins, all ideal to while away the hours in front of this vista. Number 9. Nachi Falls, Japan. The country's tallest uninterrupted waterfall, Nachi Falls has long been important to Japan's large population of Buddhists. But anybody seeking peace and guidance can make the journey to this corner of Honshu and see the waterfall for themselves. It's been famous for its beauty for hundreds of years, attracting people from throughout Japan. Walking through the forest around the waterfall is just as worthwhile, as is visiting the great Shinto shrine Kumano Nachi Taisha and experiencing Japan's world-renowned scenery and spirituality for yourself. You can also taste the waters for a small donation, about $1, which is said to bestow good fortune. This could make the rest of your life as calming as a visit to Nachi Falls. Number 8. Antigua. You won't be short on beauty, no matter which of the Caribbean's many tropical islands you visit. All of them boast crystal clear blue water and pristine sands lined by palm fronds, but Antigua may be the most beautiful of all. As it's in the tropics, the the weather is going to be incredible year-round if the skies are clear. You'll get a real taste of the laid-back lifestyle the Caribbean's island nations are famous for, sipping delicious rum and sunning yourself on the hundreds of beaches. You can also head to the country's second island, Barbuda, for much of the same, but with even fewer people, as there's no bustling capital city to contend with. Few places are better suited to endless lazy days on the beach. Number 7. Ha Long Bay, Vietnam. Visually, Ha Long Bay is known for its many towering limestone islands that litter the waterways in this idyllic region of northern Vietnam. People have been writing about the bay's beauty for hundreds of years, with evidence of human activity dating back millennia. Undoubtedly, the most relaxing thing to do is take a cruise around the bay and its islands, and discerning tourists can even do this on a traditional junk ship with its distinct red sails. While on your cruise around the tropical scenery, you can relax on deck and watch the world roll by. You can also enjoy some traditional Vietnamese seafood, either while sailing or when you return to the mainland, but you'll always have the bay itself in view. Number 6. Vis, Croatia. This tiny island has been one of Croatia's best-kept secrets for years, as Croatia itself further gains popularity among tourists thanks to its long coastline and many beaches. Vis has remained isolated and untouched. Unlike many parts of the Adriatic, Vis hasn't yet suffered from overfishing, so there's plenty of seafood. Whereas much of the country is known for its nightlife, Vis is a much more relaxed part of the world, where you can enjoy long walks through tiny European streets and get a taste of what life is like in a place that only recently opened its doors to tourists. The isolation is Vis's primary appeal, and it's a stunning, off-the-grid experience you won't find anywhere else, as you enjoy beach views, cave pools, sleepy eateries, and lots of wine from the local vineyards. Number 5. Phuket, Thailand. Though the Thai mainland is known for huge, diverse cities like Bangkok, there are plenty of idyllic places to go if you need some respite from crowded cities. Phuket may be Thailand's biggest island, but it's still small enough that you can easily find places to relax without getting caught up in the chaos. It has many undeniably stunning beaches, but the jungles can offer a different kind of relaxation to taking in the sun. Jungle hikes might be exhausting, but they'll bring you closer to nature than many other tourist activities, and the rest after your time in the wild will be indelible. Phuket town will also provide a calming journey through the island's history, and few feelings compare to coming face to face with Phuket's Big Buddha. Number 4. Snæfellsnes Peninsula, Iceland. Another country celebrated for its natural beauty, Iceland is home to many wonderful geological features, and few regions have as much variety as Snæfellsnes Peninsula. Tours of the region will show you the distinct Kirkjuvel mountain, as well as many mineral springs said to have many health benefits and healing properties. And Iceland is particularly famous for one more relaxing activity: decompressing in a sauna. You definitely.
If you're sharing a hotel room with friends, you're also sharing a bathroom and a mirror.
Don't want to miss the chance to spend an hour in a real Icelandic spa, whether that's a man-made one or part of the many geothermal pools. Unwinding in the water under the northern lights is the perfect thing to do after you've spent a few days exploring the glaciers and lava fields Iceland is so well known for. Number 3. Mykonos, Greece. Emblematic of Greece's many renowned islands, Mykonos has been beloved by tourists for a long time. But though the island has a reputation for wild parties, you'll still find plenty of calmness on its shores. It remains an absolutely beautiful destination where you'll be able to see Greece's unique blue and white houses. To ensure your relaxation-focused vacation goes relatively undisturbed, visit Mykonos early or late in the season. Outside the main summer months, it will be less busy and cool enough that you never get too hot, while you'll still be able to enjoy visits to those bright beaches and a taste of traditional Greek food. Mykonos is also a popular LGBTQ+ destination, making it ideal for people to unwind and simply be themselves. Number 2. Ubud, Bali. The most famous island in Indonesia's archipelago, Bali has been noted for years as a destination for people craving R&R. Ubud is a town on the island that, while not immune to the allure of tourism, is still a less crowded spot than the island's capital, Denpasar. You can de-stress through some yoga or a trip to one of the many temples and historical monuments, as well as journeying beyond the urban centers to reach the most scenic locations. You can see major landmarks like Lempuyang Temple, known as the Gate to Heaven, the name being an indication of its grandeur. But you can also visit one of the many spas, explore Indonesia's stunning tropical jungles, home to incredible waterfalls and wildlife. Number 1. Maldives. Out in the Indian Ocean, you'll find this gorgeous island nation made up of over 24 atolls and over 1,000 islands, all just as beautiful as the next. There's a reason many will call the Maldives paradise on earth. When you imagine the most picturesque tropical destination you can, you're inevitably going to create the Maldives in your head. With an endless expanse of turquoise water and glowing sandy beaches, there's genuinely something for everyone. But even if you spend a vacation camping out rather than in the lap of luxury, you still have the honor of seeing one of the planet's best tourist destinations. Nothing compares to long days on the beachside under an unmatched orange sunset.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from Mojo Travels, and be sure to subscribe and...
It's just beach, all beach, you beach. Romantic getaways. Let's see just some good vacations. Best vacations 2024. There we go. Let's see what my man is talking about.
Kamala Harris started her career as a prosecutor, fighting
What up, y'all? 2024 is truly the year of travel. With borders being wide open and tourism absolutely booming, here are 10 places I'd recommend visiting in 2024. Coming in at number 1, we have Bali, Indonesia. Bali, the tropical paradise known for the stunning beaches, lush rice terraces, and vibrant culture. Whether you're into surfing, exploring ancient temples, or just relaxing in a nice luxurious villa, you cannot go wrong with Bali. Not to mention the food is amazing and your money will go really far there, especially in comparison to other countries around the world. Listen, when you go to Bali, get ready for a visual, aesthetically pleasing feast. Number 2, we have Tokyo, Japan. Tokyo, a city that seamlessly blends tradition and innovation. From the bustling streets of Shibuya to the serene temples, Tokyo offers a unique experience. You can check out the amazing cherry blossoms in the spring or the mesmerizing city lights at night. Listen, one of my favorite parts of Tokyo, Japan is the food. I can eat in Tokyo all day long. Highly recommend you visiting Tokyo, Japan. Number 3, Santorini, Greece. Santorini, the postcard perfect island with its iconic whitewashed buildings and breathtaking sunsets. Indulge in a Greek cuisine, explore ancient ruins, and relax on the stunning beaches. Santorini is truly a dream destination. It's no secret why Santorini, Greece is probably one of the most popular computer screensavers around the world. Number 4, we have Zanzibar in Tanzania. This is a true tropical paradise. With its white sand beaches and crystal clear waters, Zanzibar is a dreamy escape. Explore the vibrant markets in Stone Town, indulge in the spicy local cuisine, and soak up the sun on the stunning beaches. Don't miss the chance to visit the historic spice farms for a sensory adventure. Zanzibar is a must-visit destination for beach lovers and culture enthusiasts alike. Number 5, Dubai United Arab Emirates. Dubai is literally one of the most incredible places on earth, and it's growing ridiculously fast. This is truly a place that you have to visit. From the skyscrapers, desert safaris, luxury shopping, Dubai has it all. You get the opportunity to experience the futuristic vibes of this dynamic city and marvel at its architectural wonders. Listen, if you want to experience one of the fastest growing phenomenons of our time, going to Dubai is truly that. You have to go to Dubai. It's words can't describe it. It's truly one of my favorite places today. Number 6, we have Turks and Caicos. Turks and Caicos is a Caribbean paradise with crystal clear waters and powdery white sand. Snorkel in the vibrant coral reefs, unwind in luxury resorts, and soak up the laid-back island vibes. It is a true tropical escape. I think Turks and Caicos is undeniably one of the most underrated places in the world. Number 7, we have the world-famous Maldives. The Maldives is a collection of overwater bungalows surrounded by turquoise lagoons. Immerse yourself in the underwater wonders, relax on pristine beaches, and witness the unparalleled beauty of this Indian Ocean paradise. It's no secret why the Maldives is the honeymoon destination of the world, but my advice, don't wait until the honeymoon to go to the Maldives. Life is short, it's unpredictable, but the Maldives is available for us all right now. Number 8, we have Alula, Saudi Arabia. Alula is a hidden gem in Saudi Arabia with ancient archaeological sites and stunning desert landscapes. Explore the Nebatin tombs, experience the charm of the old town, and witness the cultural renaissance of Alula. Listen, I believe Saudi Arabia is truly going to be one of the next big tourist destinations in the world. Right now, they're putting a lot of money into developing the country and also expanding tourism. Remember, you heard it here on this video that Saudi Arabia is going to be one of the top destinations in the world in the future. Saudi Arabia is going to be one of the biggest travel destinations in the world. Number 9, we have Marrakesh, Morocco. Marrakesh is where the vibrant colors of the souks meet the tranquility of the riads. Dive into the bustling markets, admire the intricate architecture, and savor the flavors of the Moroccan cuisine. Marrakesh is a sensory delight. And not to mention, make sure that you have some amazing Moroccan mint tea. I could not have enough of it when I was out there. Coming in at number 10, we have Koh Samui, Thailand. Koh Samui is an island paradise with coconut palm fringed beaches and lush rainforests. Whether you're into water activities, spa retreats, or exploring local temples, Koh Samui offers a perfect blend of relaxation and adventure. Listen, Thailand is truly one of my favorite countries in the world, from the amazing weather, the food, the culture, the people. Listen, and also your money stretches really far out there as well, especially in comparison to many other countries around the world. You going to Thailand in 2024 might be one of the best decisions that you'll make in 2024. And there you have it, folks. 10 amazing places to visit in 2024. So start planning, pack your bags, and let's make a decision to make 2024 the greatest year, the most well-traveled year, and the year that we truly explore what's out there. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. Also, let me know in the comments some places that you plan on traveling to.
I hope y'all get to travel around. We're going to watch one more. Then we can get up out of here for the day. Hopefully this puts your mind in.
Boarding passes?
Check.
IDs?
Check.
Kids?
Check.
Check, please. Did we get upgraded?
Let me check.
What's going on, everybody? This is Island Hopper TV, and today we're going to present to you the top 50 places on planet Earth for you to add to your bucket list. Just a reminder, there will be timestamps below so you can click around from destination to destination. First up, we're headed to South America to one of the most spectacular waterfalls on planet Earth, Iguazu Falls, located on the border of Argentina and Brazil. Located in the Iguazu National Park, it is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Typically, people who want to visit here arrive in Buenos Aires and then take a flight to Iguazu. The main area of the waterfall is called the Devil's Throat Canyon. It's 300 feet wide and 260 feet deep. There also is a walkway around the waterfall. Next up, we're headed to the Arabian Desert where Petra, Jordan, is located. This is home to the ancient Nabateans, and currently the Bedouin people live here. This archaeological site is 150 miles away from Jerusalem and 150 miles away from Amman, so you can get there both ways. It is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site. At one point in time, the Romans had expanded their empire into Petra around 106 AD. It takes a full day to explore this site, and you can explore at night and in the daytime as well. Next up, we're headed to Cappadocia here in Turkey, another famous rock formation city that was built into caves. Nowadays, it is a historical heritage site as well, which also is commonly seen with hot air balloons flying around the area, providing you with a bird's eye view of just how amazing the landscape of this city really is. You can easily catch a flight from Istanbul's two major airports to Cappadocia. Kayseri is the main airport that you would pick. Next up, we're headed to Costa Rica right here in Central America, one of the most biodiverse countries on planet Earth. Many species of birds, mammals, and flora and fauna abundant everywhere you look. Do be sure to check out the wildlife in Manuel Antonio and the hot springs around La Fortuna and the beaches on the Caribbean and Pacific side. If you wanted to get to Costa Rica, there's two airports, one in San Jose and the other in the north in Liberia. You will need at least 2 to 3 weeks to explore this whole country. Next up, we're headed to Eastern Africa to Tanzania. This is home to Mount Kilimanjaro, also home to many incredible wildlife safaris that you can do, along with trekking up to the summit of Mount Kilimanjaro. And there is Kilimanjaro in the background. Also, don't forget to head over to the coast to Zanzibar and check out this turquoise water. And when you arrive, you can say Jambo, which is hello in Swahili, and Hakuna Matata, which means no worries. Now we are headed to Southeast Asia to Cambodia. This here is Angkor Wat, located in Siam Reap. Located deep in the rainforest in the former Khmer Empire under the reign of King Suryavarman. This was one of the largest religious sites in planet Earth when it was developed. Over 400 acres, the main temple complex is surrounded by a moat. Originally constructed as a Hindu temple for the god Vishnu around the 12th century. And now we're headed back to South America off the coast of Ecuador to the Galapagos Islands, one of the most amazing volcanic archipelagos on planet Earth. There is over 18 main islands with 3 smaller islands, and it was made famous by Charles Darwin, who is said to have developed his theory of evolution right here in the Galapagos Islands. There are many unique species of plants and animals like the giant tortoise, marine iguana, the blue-footed boobies, penguins, and much more. Next up, we're headed back to Southeast Asia to the gem of Indonesia, Bali. Known for its many temples, volcanic mountains like Agung, rice terraces, beautiful beaches, friendly people, and incredibly rich culture with many different beaches. Some of the popular towns to stay are going to be Kuta, Legion, Seminyak, Uluwatu. And the airport that you'll arrive in is located in the capital of the island called Denpasar. While here, prepare to eat lots of seafood, mee goreng, and nasi goreng, which basically translates to fried rice. Next up, we're headed to the west coast of Italy to the Cinque Terre, which basically translates to the 5 towns. Those 5 towns are Vernazza, Cornelia, Manarola, Rio Maggiore, and Monterosa al Mare. While here, do indulge in some of the local seafood, along with the local cuisine, including pesto and wine. As you will see, there are many grapes growing on the sides of the hills. You can walk around the villages and see the amazing colorful houses and views that they offer here, as well as do some hiking and swimming. Now we're headed to the Indian Ocean. Right in the middle is the small island nation of the Maldives, which consists of over 1,000 coral islands and 26 atolls. The capital is Mali, which is considered one of the most densely populated capitals on Earth. While here you'll experience stunning beaches and crystal clear waters full of marine life. Best time to visit is dry season, December to March. Next up, we're headed over to Tahiti, which is in French Polynesia. More specifically, you want to check out Bora Bora. This volcanic island is surrounded by a coral reef, and it is absolutely stunning. Tahiti is home to many popular tourist destinations like Moorea, with these floating beach bungalows over the water. Tahiti is divided into two parts, Tahiti Nui and Tahiti Iti. You will arrive here in Papeete at the airport of Fa'a'a. Here we are in Peru. Again, in South America, this nation is home to some of the most amazing sights on Earth. The Atacama Desert, the Andes Mountains and the Amazon, Lake Titicaca, the capital of Lima, and Machu Picchu. Be sure to also explore Cusco. Now we're headed to Southeast Asia, to the Philippines, a place that is considered one of the premier travel destinations of the 21st century. With over 7,000 islands and 109 million people living here, you originate in Manila and then you head out to one of those amazing tropical islands. Some of the favorites here are Palawan and El Nido, Boracay, Bohol, as well as Surigao del Sur. Now we are headed to the wonderful Taj Mahal located in Agra. This here mausoleum was built by the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan in the year 1632 and completed in 1653. For his beloved wife, Mumtaz Mahal. The dome of the Taj Mahal is 73 meters high and the exterior is made of white marble. It glimmers in the sun and there is a reflection pool that overlooks a beautiful garden. Next up, we're headed to the highest mountain peak in the world, Mount Everest, located in the Himalaya Mountains. Now this borders between Nepal and Tibet, also northern India. The elevation of Mount Everest is 29,000 feet. The first summit of this mountain was completed on 1953 by Sir Edmund Hillary of New Zealand and Tenzing Norgay, a Sherpa from Nepal. Heading back down to South America, we are coming to you from Rio de Janeiro here in the southeastern part of Brazil. Famous for its carnival celebrations, beautiful beaches like Copacabana, Ipanema, Leblon, just to name a few, as well as Christ the Redeemer statue, going to the top of Corcovado Mountain and Sugarloaf Mountain. They do speak Portuguese here, so bom dia, which means good morning. Spending 3 to 5 days in Rio is definitely time well spent. Next up, we're headed back to Italy. This time we're on the Adriatic side over in Venice. Built on a group of small islands separated by canals, it is famous for gondola rides, also because it was a historical trading and commerce area during the Middle Ages and the Renaissance. Nowadays, you can visit the Piazza San Marco, St. Mark's Basilica, the Grand Canal area, and really just take in all of the history. It does get crowded though, and they now require a reservation to visit. Now we're on our way to the Canadian Rockies to Banff. Now there is a town here and also several different lakes. It's surrounded by spectacular mountains, glaciers, lakes, forests. People come up here for skiing, snowboarding, mountain biking, you name it. Very popular place. Also, there is the Banff Hot Springs and the popular lakes known as Peyto Lake and Lake Louise. We're staying in Canada and we're going to the east. This time we're going to Niagara Falls, located along the Niagara River. It actually borders between the United States and Canada and consists of 3 separate waterfalls: Bridal Veil Falls, American Falls, and Horseshoe Falls. While you're here, you can actually take a helicopter ride, do a boat tour up to the waterfalls where it gets very misty, or just look from above upon the observation decks. The Canadian side is considered the most well-known. Heading out to the middle of the Pacific, this time we're headed to the island of Maui.
The reason I showed the vacation spots is because that you can go to some of those vacation spots, get some real rest and relaxation in for yourself. That's it for our show today. I hope that you found your circadian rhythm in life, because I found mine, and I'm a napper, so I gotta take me a nap. Nah, for real though, make sure you're getting your rest, because you can't live in this world forever. Like, you have to let whatever it is that animates you, your spirit, energy, whatever you want to call it. You have to release it for a little while so that it can go where it needs to go and do what it needs to do, and your body can rest. You can be asleep, you can be meditating, you can get boxed out. Whatever, however you got to do it, you need that rest. So let's get some more affirmations in here for the day as we close out. Y'all can listen to these. And I'm up out of here for the day, y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow on Fun Fridays.
Check.
Goody.
Come on, man, we need talking. They made it difficult for me today.
Hello. So I can't always do.
Alright, she tripping. I'm gonna take the hit, the copyright hit, cause I don't. Y'all did me dirty with that though.
I am affirmations for positive thinking.
That's what's up, girl. Yeah, ain't long enough. Let's get this one in.
Day for 21 days. I respect myself. I respect myself.
These whack though.
I love and embrace all of me. I love and embrace.
This is whack.
Action breeds confidence and courage. Other people's.
Alright, y'all, I'm about of here. I'll do better tomorrow, I promise.
Never trust the people who tell you other people's secrets. Success hugs you in private. Failure slaps you in public. That's life. If it keeps you happy, keep it quiet. Our thoughts make us what we are. To be interesting, be interested. Stay away from people that can't see any wrong in their actions, but see every wrong in yours. Don't depend too much on anyone in this world, because even your own shadow leaves you when you are in darkness. Bad habits are like a comfortable bed, easy to get into, but hard to get out of. Two men looked out from prison bars. One saw the mud, and other saw the stars. Be careful who you trust. Salt and sugar look the same. Talk to someone about themselves, and they'll listen for hours. Inaction breeds doubt and fear. Action breeds confidence and courage. Every day is a new life to a wise man. If you don't say what you think, then you kill your unborn self. Knowledge isn't power until it is applied. Don't be afraid of enemies who attack you, afraid of the friends who flatter you. There is only one way to get the best of an argument, and that is to avoid it. Always stand up for what is right, even if it means standing alone. If you want to succeed, then focus on changing yourself, not others. Sometimes you will never know the value of something until it becomes a memory. Fear does not exist anywhere, except in the mind. Respect is earned, honesty is appreciated, trust is gained, and loyalty is returned. Sometimes it's very hard to move on, but once you move on, you'll realize it was the best decision you've ever made. Become 1% better every day. If you can't sleep, then get up and do something. Instead of lying there and worrying, it's the worry that gets you, not the loss of sleep. Distance yourself from people who lie to you, disrespect you, and use you. Don't tell me what they said about me. Tell me why they were so comfortable to say around you. Stress, anxiety, and depression are caused when we are living to please others. The only way to influence people is to talk in terms of what the other person wants. Listening carefully to a person is the greatest compliment we can give him. Today is your opportunity to build the tomorrow you want. Your lack of dedication is an insult to those who believe in you. Happiness is enjoying the little things in life. Good things come in good times. Take life day by day and be grateful for the little things.
So you're looking for a university that has anything you could possibly need.
Anything?
You want a place that has the programs you want to study.
I think I'm going to sign up for the fashion design program.
All right, a place with state-of-the-art facilities.
And who doesn't? Don't get stressed over what you can't control.